Good morning, everyone. May 5th, 2018. I'm Eric. How's everyone doing? I hope you are well. Okay, so this particular video is more for black folks than anybody. And you do have legitimate complaints against, I wouldn't say white people as a whole, but against the powers that be. I think that all of us have legitimate complaints and grievances when it comes to the powers that be. I think that you and I, on the street level, have a lot more in common than either of us do with any politician out there. We do have our differences, undoubtedly, but at the end of the day, those differences are in part cosmetic, in part cultural, and in part contrived. We are all, I won't call us victims, because we have the power to stop whatever's going on at any given time if we put our bodies against the machine. We have that power. Now, white people, because there are more of us, we would have to put our bodies against that machine. Black folks could not do it alone. For example, our struggles in everyday life are very similar. Ever since I got busted with weed, I've had a fucking time finding a job. Alright? Over a plant. It wasn't even cocaine, it was weed. It wasn't even heroin, it was weed. It wasn't meth, it was fucking weed. Okay? And don't let me forget my own prescription. I got in trouble for having a prescription. Seriously. Seriously. Because I had my daily dose sitting on my counter, they charged me with distribution of that prescription. So, you know, yes, black people are targeted by law enforcement, and the reason that is, or I should say, they're more targeted by law enforcement, and the reason that is because in your neighborhoods, there's a lot of things going on. If it were weed in itself all alone, like in more or less my case, they probably wouldn't even bother with it. Now, the reason I got busted is because I had a subscriber call my local sheriff's department and tell them that I was trying to form a militia. Shortly after they made that call, they began to watch me. Yeah, they were spying on me. And I befriended somebody because my daughter and their daughter got along, and he presented himself as a vet with PTSD. I gave him some weed. Gave him some weed. He gets pulled over on the way home and throws me under the bus. Tell me that doesn't sound like some of the shit that happens in your community. I know it is, because I know lots of black people, and they too get thrown under the bus, mostly by black women. We have a lot more in common. You have more in common with me than you do Maxine Waters, I believe her name is, or any of the other powerful black people. Powerful black people do not have your best interest in mind. They have their own best interest in mind. They do not give a fuck about you. They are part of the establishment, and the establishment definitely don't give a fuck about you or me or anybody else. They care about one thing. One thing. That is control. The ability to control you. And of course, Zygmunt Brzezinski, he says it's easier to kill 1 million of us now than it is to control 1 million of us. But you have to look at the statistics overall. Yes, black people are put in jail per capita at a higher rate than white people. That's per capita. And per capita is, you know, how many individuals per 100,000 or something like that. And white people, we're targeted by police a lot. I mean, we are killed by police like you wouldn't fucking believe. At any given day of the week, you can go to, Free Thought Project, for example, and see all the people, well, probably not all of them, but a good bit of people who have been killed or maimed or unjustly arrested by law enforcement. A lot of them are black, a lot of them are white. We have that in common. Maxine Waters don't have to worry about that shit, does she? Or Ben Carson, or hell, Kanye West. I want you to join the white people in fighting against the government. The government is the problem, not your average person on the street. The government is the mechanism that controls everything. The government ships weapons to Chicago to instigate the continued bloodbath in Chicago. They have black sites in Chicago. So yeah, we have a lot more in common with each other at the street level than we do with any of the leaders, no matter what color they are. Again, these people do not care about you. They only care about themselves. Kanye West, I have to admit, it's a genius move for him to come out against Democrats. It's going to boost his record sales by a lot. The same with Candace Owens. She saw she was getting nowhere with the left, so she flip-flopped and decided to sucker those on the right out of the money she needs to start her doxing website, Social Autopsy. They don't fucking care about you. They criticize you for your lifestyle. They do nothing to help the situation. And I don't mean help by throwing money at it. I don't mean help by getting their bodies personally involved, but they don't help in any way. Maybe they shouldn't help. You should drop your petty racism. You should join with the white people who want to see an end to this system and help us destroy the system. PragerU, they like to make these videos glamorizing our country. And our country has done a fair amount of good things. We have, as a country, done a fair amount of good things. But how the citizen here is treated, it's terrible. How we jump into every fucking possible war we can jump into, whether it be by proxy or direct conflict. You know, we don't benefit from these wars. It does nothing but hurt us to have these wars. Every war sucks up billions and billions, if not trillions of dollars that should be spent stateside. We're giving shitloads of weapons to Israel and money. Those weapons and money should stay stateside. We give Saudi Arabia all kinds of military support. That military support should be here, not there. The same with every other foreign base we have. We have no business interfering into the affairs of other countries. It costs the American taxpayer billions and billions of dollars. And that's you. That's me at times. But our struggles, our daily struggles, are, for all intents and purposes, the same. They have a little bit different aspects to them because of the racial thing, but at the end of the day, struggle is struggle. You get people like Jordan Peterson and what's that guy from American Renaissance? Gosh, Jared Taylor. I don't have anything against these guys. Some of the stuff they say is 100% spot on. Now, if black people wanted their own state, I don't think many white people would object to that at the end of any kind of conflict that the black folks participated in. I would be completely open to black people having their own state so they could run their own affairs. But, at the same time, I think white people should have the same thing. Japan, you know, it's Japanese. China is Chinese. India is filled with Indian people. Pakistan, Pakistani, and so on. Saudi Arabia. You know, there's African countries that are all black. So, why would it be a big deal for white people to have their own states too? It shouldn't be. If you're thinking as fairly as you think you are, then white people having their own state should not be a problem. The problem with being racist against each other is it keeps us in the same place. It keeps us under the control, under the thumb of a ever-expanding, ever-growing tyranny that is the government. That is the state. The state you live in and the federal government, they are your enemy. Not me. Not me. I want the best for you. I want the best for everyone. I don't want you to suffer any more than is necessary, but at the same time, I don't want to suffer any more than is necessary. I've spent my entire life suffering from one thing or another. If it wasn't poverty, it was a bad tooth. It wasn't a bad tooth, it was something else. I managed to dig myself out of poverty for a good, I don't know, 15-year stretch, and I was pretty well off, and I spread my money around as much as I could. I gave to as many people as I could, including black folks, by the way. And at the end of it, it was the end. It was the end. I got ratted out again. By my own people, by the way. The same thing that happens to you. You get ratted out by your own people, I get ratted out by my own people. We do have differences, but they are so petty. So they just don't matter. The differences we have don't really matter. If white people have a higher IQ overall, it's because we had to go through shit to keep our food safe during the winter time in the Caucasus or Caucasian regions. It got really fucking cold there. Therefore, food didn't grow all year round. We had to figure out how to store it. We had to use brain power for that. And it made us more intelligent as a result. Doesn't mean you can't be intelligent. A lot of people like to say, that intelligence, you reach it and that's it. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that. A person can be as intelligent as they want to be. If you want to be a dumbass and waste yourself away, that's on you. But your potential, how much potential you have, really is up to you. So instead of going out and partying every night like I used to, I was one of them people who did nothing but party, get drunk, smoke, do all that stuff. But at some point, I realized that it was no way to live. It got old. The constant party, the constant buzz, it got old. It's got to get old for you too. You got to go home at the end of these things and think, God damn, man, I'm fucking wiped out. I want to do something different. And that's what happened to me. Unfortunately for me, it happened a little bit too late. I started my YouTube channel a little bit too late. If I had started my YouTube channel, I don't know, 8 years ago, I probably would have a little bit more success than I'm having now. But I don't do the YouTube videos for success. I do them to deliver a message. And if they end up being successful, my channels, then cool. If not, oh fucking well. I'll have to find another way to make money. And I'll be honest, it will probably be illegal the way I end up choosing to make money. Simply because finding a job now for me is nearly impossible. Especially a good job. Now I can find a job that's very, very exploitive. They don't want to pay you a decent wage. This kind of thing. They want to keep you there for, 14 hours, and there's no work-home balance. Yeah, I could probably find something like that, but it does not interest me in the least to be in that situation. I would rather risk prison than be put in a situation that I'm exploited because of the fucking plant. So, we have it the same. The lower income people across the board have it the same. We are both targets of police. We are both targets of the government. And when the shit goes down, we're going to be the first people that get rounded up. Anyway, I thought I'd share this message with you because, man, we could really make a difference if we can drop our petty, racist arguments towards each other and focus on the real enemy. The real enemy is the state. The real enemy is the government. The real enemy is anyone who wishes to exert control over you. Those are your enemies. Till next time, kill the state and live free.